The morning sky over Earth was unusually quiet. Birds flew across the horizon, and the wind whispered through tall city buildings. People were starting their day going to work, school, and markets, completely unaware that their lives were about to change forever. In a small observatory in Chile, Dr. Elena Vargas adjusted her telescope, scanning the skies as usual. Her eyes widened as a strange shadow passed across the sun. It was not a cloud or a bird. It was something far bigger, something moving too fast to be natural. On the other side of the world, in New York City, sirens suddenly blared. Traffic lights flickered. People looked up at the sky, pointing and shouting. Across every continent, the same scene repeated. Giant shapes appeared above major cities. Huge, dark ships blocked the sunlight. Panic spread like wildfire. News channels cut their programs, showing live footage of enormous alien warships hovering in orbit. Their surfaces were smooth and dark, reflecting sunlight in strange patterns. No one could tell how they moved, yet they seemed alive. The aliens were not speaking any language humans could understand. Their presence alone felt threatening. Governments scrambled. Military headquarters were flooded with calls. Fighter jets and anti-aircraft weapons were deployed. But nothing worked. The alien ships didn't fire immediately. They just hovered silently, scanning Earth as if it were a museum specimen. In a secret underground laboratory in Russia, scientists noticed something terrifying. The alien vessels were sending out waves of energy that interfered with all human communication and technology. Satellites went dark. Phones stopped working. Even nuclear power plants began to shut down automatically. The world's most advanced technology was failing before anyone could react. Despite the panic, some people tried to stay calm. Families held each other, watching the sky in disbelief. Social media exploded with videos and messages from people all over the world. "Is this the end?" one message read. "Who are they?" asked another. But no one had answers. In Washington, D.C., the president gave a live address to the nation. His face was tense, voice firm but calm. "We are facing an unknown threat," he said. "All nations must unite. Humanity will not fall without a fight." The words were meant to reassure the public, but inside the White House, panic was growing. Military advisors warned that the alien fleet was unlike anything ever seen. Their size, speed, and power were beyond imagination. Meanwhile, aboard the alien flagship, the commanders observed Earth through massive energy windows. They were not humanoid. Their skin shimmered like liquid metal, their eyes glowed with blue light, and their minds were connected through a neural network. One commander spoke, its voice deep and resonant. "Prepare for initial scanning. The planet shows signs of intelligent life. Assess threat level." Back on Earth, humanity had no time to prepare. The first destructive beams hit the outskirts of Tokyo. Skyscrapers crumbled in seconds. Fires spread through the city like lightning. Emergency responders tried to evacuate civilians, but the alien attacks were precise and deadly. The world realized that these invaders were not here to negotiate. In Europe, Paris burned. In Africa, Cairo shook. In South America, Rio de Janeiro was hit. The scale of destruction was unimaginable. People screamed in terror. Families ran through streets filled with falling debris and burning vehicles. There was no pattern, no warning, just sudden, overwhelming devastation. Yet amid the chaos, some humans refused to give up. In underground bunkers, scientists and military leaders were working together to find a way to fight back. They analyzed alien energy patterns, studied the ship's movements, and developed emergency plans. Their hope was faint, but it existed. Dr. Elena Vargas, still at her telescope in Chile, noticed something remarkable. The alien ships were not completely invincible. A small disruption in their energy shields appeared when they fired their beams. It was tiny, almost imperceptible, But it was a flawed chance for humanity to fight back. In New York, fighter pilots took off in jets, ready to attack the massive ships. Their weapons were weak compared to the aliens' technology, but their determination was strong. "We may not survive," one pilot radioed, "but we will make them pay for every city they destroy." The alien ships, however, were not just attacking randomly. They moved with a strange intelligence, coordinating attacks across the globe. Cities were systematically destroyed. Earth's defenses seemed useless. Every missile fired was absorbed or deflected by invisible shields. The aliens were far more advanced than any human had imagined. Amid the destruction, a young soldier named Marcus Lee watched his city crumble. His squad was trapped in a tunnel as debris fell around them. "We have to survive," he shouted to his team. "We have to live to fight back." His courage inspired others nearby, and they began helping civilians escape the burning streets. In London, the Tower Bridge collapsed as an alien beam struck it directly. Emergency broadcasts tried to guide citizens to shelters, but communication was patchy. The world felt helpless. Then, something unexpected happened. Across the globe, secret military bases that had been hidden from the public for decades activated. Underground fleets, advanced warships, and powerful weapon systems powered up. Humanity was not completely defenseless. Plans that had been classified for years were now ready to be used. In orbit, the alien commanders noticed the sudden activity. Their scanners detected hidden weapons, unusual energy readings, and strange movements of small human ships. "They have defenses," one commander said in disbelief. "Primitive but dangerous." On Earth, a massive hidden facility in Nevada launched a new kind of weapon, one never revealed to the public. It fired a concentrated energy pulse at an approaching alien vessel. To everyone's shock, the ship shook violently, sparks flying across its hull. For the first time, humans had caused serious damage. Panic spread among the aliens. They had expected an easy conquest. They had expected to overwhelm a weak species, but Earth was fighting back in ways they had never imagined. Some ships retreated slightly, reassessing their strategy. Others accelerated their attacks, determined to crush humanity before it adapted. In Tokyo, survivors watched from a rooftop as a massive alien vessel exploded in a blinding flash of light. The ground shook. People cheered, tears running down their faces. It was a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. Hope had returned, even if just a little. Meanwhile, world leaders held emergency meetings. Alliances formed quickly. Countries that had previously been at odds now shared resources, technology, and intelligence. Humanity was uniting against a common enemy for the first time in centuries. Dr. Elena Vargas, exhausted but determined, continued her work. She realized that understanding the aliens' technology was the key to survival. Every signal they intercepted, every strange pattern, brought humanity one step closer to turning the tide. Back in space, the alien flagship was sending urgent messages to its empire. The commanders debated their next move. "These humans are unpredictable," one said. "We must destroy them before they learn more." Another argued, "Underestimating them was a mistake. Proceed with caution." As night fell over Earth, cities burned, but not all hope was lost. Hidden from the alien eyes, humanity prepared for a counterstrike. Weapon systems charged, fighter pilots trained, and scientists raced against time to find weaknesses in the alien fleet. Marcus Lee and his team, exhausted but alive, looked at the horizon. The sky was filled with alien ships, dark and ominous, but their eyes were filled with determination. "We may be small," Marcus said, "but we are not powerless. We will fight, we will survive, and we will strike first." In that moment, a silent promise spread across the world. Humanity would not wait for destruction. Humanity would not bow down. Humanity would rise. The first day of the invasion ended, But the war was just beginning. Earth had seen the face of doom, but it had also shown a glimpse of its defiance. The alien empire expected an easy conquest, but they had underestimated one thing: the human spirit. And somewhere, deep in the hidden bunkers, a plan was forming, a plan that could change everything. Humanity would not just defend itself. Humanity would strike back. The sky over Earth remained dark, filled with alien ships, but the hearts of humans burned brighter than ever. The arrival of doom had come, but it had also awakened something far more powerful: the determination to survive, fight, and win. The countdown to the first human strike had begun. The sky over Earth was still dark. Alien warships hovered in orbit, huge and silent, but something had changed. For the first time, humans were not completely powerless. Hidden weapons, secret fleets, and underground bases were now ready to act. A faint spark of hope ignited across the world. In Nevada, a massive underground facility stretched for miles. Soldiers, scientists, and engineers moved quickly through corridors filled with glowing screens and blinking lights. The facility was built decades ago, far from the eyes of the public. It had been humanity's last hope, Earth's secret weapon against an unknown threat. Now that weapon would finally be revealed. Dr. Elena Vargas, fresh from her observatory, work in Chile, had been brought here by international authorities. She looked around at the massive machines and advanced technology. "I never imagined humanity could build this," she said, her voice trembling with awe. "And now, we must use it to survive." A young pilot named Marcus Lee, bruised but determined from the first attack, walked beside her. "We saw them destroy cities," he said. "We have nothing to lose. But we have a chance to fight back." The room was filled with tension. Military commanders from around the world were arguing over strategy. Every second counted. The aliens had shown their power. Earth's main cities were in ruins, and millions had been displaced or killed. Yet for the first time, humanity had a plan. In a secure command room, holograms of the alien fleet appeared. The images were detailed, showing each ship's size, shield pattern, and movement. Analysts had studied every energy pulse the aliens emitted. They had discovered weaknesses hidden in the ship's defenses, small, almost invisible flaws that could be exploited. General Akira Tanaka, a calm and experienced leader from Japan, stood before the room. "We cannot fight them head-on with conventional weapons," he said. "Our jets, missiles, and tanks are no match. But we have secret technology they do not know about. If we act carefully, we can strike first and change the course of this war." Across the room, a group of scientists worked frantically. They monitored energy readings, adjusting weapon power, and testing simulations. The secret weapon was not just one machine. It was a combination of advanced AI, orbital fleets, and experimental human pilots trained in total secrecy. For decades, governments had prepared for an alien threat, and now that preparation would be put to the test. Meanwhile, Marcus trained with other pilots in a massive underground hangar. Small but fast fighter ships waited for launch. Their designs were simple, yet deadly, built for speed, agility, and precision strikes. Marcus ran through simulations, practicing every maneuver. "We are small," he thought, "but that can work in our favor. They will never see us coming." Dr. Vargas and her team studied alien energy patterns. They discovered that the invaders' shields had a timing flaw. A brief moment after each attack when the ship's defenses dropped slightly. It lasted only a fraction of a second, but it was enough to strike. She explained this to the commanders, who quickly adjusted their strategy. In London, hidden bunkers were preparing their own weapons. Laser arrays, EMP generators, and advanced missile systems were armed. Scientists worked day and night to link all these devices with AI targeting systems. Across the globe, secret forces coordinated silently, communicating through encrypted channels humans had kept hidden from the aliens. The alien fleet, however, remained unaware of the growing threat. They moved in formation, preparing for a final strike on Earth's surface. Their neural network allowed them to communicate instantly, but they underestimated humanity's hidden capabilities. One commander, scanning Earth, said, "These humans are primitive. Their technology is not advanced. We will crush them quickly." In Nevada, the countdown for humanity's first strike began. Marcus and his fellow pilots climbed into their ships. Sweat ran down his face, but his heart burned with determination. "We are small," he muttered, "but we will make them pay for every city they destroyed." The first mission was risky. The target, a massive alien flagship hovering over the Pacific Ocean. Its shields were powerful, but the scientists' calculations were precise. Marcus's small fighter ship would have to fly through a narrow window in the shield, deliver an energy disruptor, and escape before the alien systems reacted. The chance of failure was high, but the risk had to be taken. As Marcus's fighter launched into the sky, the world watched silently. Every nation held its breath. The ship moved faster than the eye could follow, weaving between alien patrols. Below, cities still smoldered from previous attacks, but humans dared to hope. The alien fleet noticed the small human ship almost immediately. Alarms blared, and energy weapons locked onto the target. But Marcus's ship was designed for agility. It dodged beams of energy, spinning and flipping in impossible maneuvers. Each second counted. The ship reached the shield window. Dr. Vargas monitored every movement. "Now, Marcus," she shouted. With perfect timing, he released the energy disruptor. The device attached to the alien ship's hull, sending pulses of interference through its systems. The flagship shook violently. Lights flickered, energy shields faltered, and alarms screamed. For a moment, the alien commanders were stunned. They had not expected such a precise attack from a primitive species. Panic spread across the fleet. "They are more dangerous than we thought," one commander said. "Prepare for full engagement." On Earth, humans cheered. It was a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. Cities burned, and lives had been lost, yet the world realized that they could fight back. Humanity was not powerless. Humanity had a secret weapon, and now it was in action. Across the globe, hidden bases launched their own attacks. Small, fast human ships darted in and out of the alien fleet, delivering disruptors and targeting weak points. AI systems calculated every move, predicting alien reactions and coordinating strikes. The aliens struggled to respond. Their shields and weapons were powerful, but the human strategy was faster, smarter, and unpredictable. In Europe, Marcus's squadron reunited. After the first successful strike, they shared a brief moment of celebration. But there was no time for rest. The aliens were regrouping. Their next attack would be stronger, more coordinated, and more deadly. Every pilot knew they could die at any moment. But they were ready to fight, ready to sacrifice everything for Earth. Meanwhile, world leaders continued to coordinate. They used every resource available, from hidden bases in Siberia to secret underwater facilities in the Atlantic. Humanity was acting as one, a global force united against a single enemy. The aliens had expected disorganization, division, and fear. Instead, they faced unity, courage, and intelligence. Dr. Vargas continued her work, analyzing alien energy pulses. She discovered patterns, tiny fluctuations that could be exploited in future strikes. Every day, humans learned more about the aliens' technology. Every day, the secret weapon became stronger, smarter, and more deadly. Back in orbit, alien commanders debated their next move. "These humans are unpredictable," one said. "They have secrets we did not account for. Continue the attack, but proceed carefully." Another disagreed, insisting on immediate destruction. The fleet was divided. Their unity, once a strength, now became a weakness. On Earth, Marcus and his team prepared for the next mission. Each strike had to be faster, smarter, and more precise. Every victory, no matter how small, gave humans hope and confidence. They were no longer just victims, they were warriors, using intelligence, courage, and technology to fight back. The first human strike had changed everything. The alien fleet was stunned, their confidence shaken. They had expected an easy conquest, but they underestimated humanity. Across Earth, people whispered about heroes in secret bases, about pilots who risked everything, and about a weapon hidden for decades that had finally awakened. Dr. Vargas watched Marcus return from the mission. He landed his fighter carefully, exhausted but alive. "We did it," he said, voice filled with relief. "We made them pay." "Yes," Dr. Vargas replied. "But this is only the beginning. We must keep fighting. We must keep striking. If we hesitate, they will crush us." The world understood that humanity had a secret weapon, but they also knew that it was fragile. One mistake, one miscalculation, and Earth could be destroyed. Yet for the first time in history, humans felt hope. They had a plan, they had courage, and they had the will to survive. In secret command rooms, analysts calculated the next moves. Hidden facilities prepared more weapons. Pilots trained relentlessly. Scientists studied alien behavior. Humanity was no longer waiting for destruction. They were preparing to dominate. The alien fleet remained a terrifying presence above the planet. But for the first time, humans were not afraid. They had discovered a power the aliens had not expected. They had discovered their own strength. Marcus looked at the night sky, filled with enemy ships. His heart pounded, but his eyes shone with determination. "We may be few," he thought, "but we are clever, we are fast. And we strike first." The countdown for the next wave had begun. Humanity's secret weapon had awakened, and the war for Earth was entering a new, dangerous, and thrilling stage. The alien empire would soon learn that underestimating humans was a fatal mistake. The first strike was only the beginning. Humanity had revealed its secret weapon. And now, the real fight would begin. The alien fleet hovered in orbit, its massive ships glinting in the pale light of Earth. From space, the planet looked peaceful, but below, humanity's hidden forces were stirring. For the first time, humans had struck back, and the consequences were beginning to ripple across the galaxy. Aboard the alien flagship, the High Command was in chaos. The largest ship in their armada, a towering structure of dark metal, trembled under the recent human attack. Its energy shields had faltered for a moment, and the small human disruptor had sent pulses through its systems, causing sparks and failures across the ship. Commander Zather, the lead of the alien fleet, paced across the ship's command deck. His skin shimmered like liquid metal, and his glowing eyes darted from one officer to another. "This cannot be," he said in a voice that resonated through the metal halls. "A primitive species has destroyed one of our best vessels in seconds." His officers, equally stunned, struggled to regain composure. "It was a small attack, Commander," said one. "Hardly significant. Their technology is weak compared to our fleet. We can still crush them." Zather's eyes narrowed. "They are not weak. They are unpredictable. They have weapons we did not account for. They are fast, clever, and united. This is dangerous." Below the command deck, engineers and drones scrambled to repair the damage. Sparks flew as systems rebooted. The alien fleet had never faced an enemy like this. For centuries, they had conquered planets with ease. Few civilizations had survived long enough to resist their power. Yet humans had not only survived, they had struck back in ways that were precise and deadly. Across Earth, humans celebrated quietly in secret. The first successful strike had boosted morale. Pilots returned from missions, exhausted but triumphant. In Nevada, Dr. Elena Vargas and her team monitored alien energy signals. "We have their attention," she said. They know now that we are a threat. In orbit, smaller alien vessels swarmed, scanning for more human ships. But every attempt to locate the hidden Earth fleet failed. Humans had planned carefully, hiding their positions and moving unpredictably. Each strike they made was calculated, timed to exploit alien weaknesses. On Earth, General Akira Tanaka coordinated global strikes. Hidden bases from Japan to Brazil were linked through secure networks. Every move, every attack, was part of a larger strategy to disorient and weaken the alien fleet. Human ingenuity had turned the tide, and for the first time, they were not merely defending, they were taking the fight to the enemy. Back aboard the alien flagship, Zather called an emergency council. The room was filled with senior commanders, all of them uneasy. "We underestimated them," one officer admitted. "We expected disorganized, weak humans. We expected an easy conquest. Instead, we face planning, coordination, and bravery. Their attacks are precise." Another officer, more aggressive, slammed a metallic hand on the table. "We must respond with full force. Destroy the planet before they can strike again." Zather shook his head. "No, we must adapt. Our usual strategies will not work. They are too clever, too fast. We must study them, understand their weaknesses, and act carefully." Meanwhile on Earth, Marcus Lee and his squadron prepared for another strike. Their first attack had been successful, but they knew the aliens would be more alert now. Every maneuver had to be precise. Every second counted. The aliens' shields were stronger, their movements more coordinated, and their attacks faster. Yet humanity had learned from the first battle, and they were ready. In a hidden bunker beneath Berlin, scientists worked tirelessly to analyze the alien fleet. They discovered that the aliens relied heavily on their neural network, a system that linked all ships' minds together. Disrupting that network could cause chaos among the enemy forces, but doing so required exact timing and daring execution. One mistake, and the human pilots could be lost. Dr. Vargas studied the energy readings on her screens. "They are reorganizing," she said. "They are communicating faster now, coordinating defenses. Our next strike must be smarter, more precise." Marcus and his team climbed into their ships. Each pilot knew the risks. Each knew that failure meant death, yet courage burned in their hearts. "We fight not for glory," Marcus thought. "We fight for survival. For our families, our cities, our world." The next strike targeted a cluster of alien vessels approaching the Atlantic. The plan was daring, a combination of human fighter ships, orbital disruptors, and AI-controlled weapons. Precision and timing were everything. As the squadron launched into the sky, the aliens detected the movement immediately. Beams of energy locked onto human ships, and alarms blared across the fleet. Yet the humans moved unpredictably, darting between patrols, weaving in impossible patterns that the alien fleet struggled to track. The orbital disruptors activated, sending pulses through the alien network. Sparks flew across their ships, and shields flickered. The neural network staggered, causing confusion and panic. Commander Zather watched as the fleet lost cohesion. "They are interfering with our communication," he said, eyes wide with disbelief. "How is this possible?" Below, humans cheered as small victories accumulated. Fighter ships destroyed or disabled alien vessels. Orbital disruptors caused massive malfunctions. For the first time, the aliens were on the defensive. Humanity had proven they were not just survivors. They were a threat. The alien fleet began to fracture. Some commanders wanted to retreat, regroup, and attack again with overwhelming force. Others argued for immediate destruction of Earth before humans could strike again. Arguments turned into conflicts, confusion spreading like fire. Back on Earth, Marcus and his team returned from the mission. Exhausted, bruised, and covered in sweat, they celebrated briefly before preparing for the next strike. Each mission increased humanity's knowledge of the enemy, and each success fueled determination. Dr. Vargas analyzed alien data captured during the strikes. She discovered flaws in their neural network that could be exploited further. "We have their weakness," she said to the commanders. "If we act carefully, we can disable their fleet from within." Meanwhile, the alien empire struggled to understand humans. Centuries of conquest had taught them that fear and power controlled weaker species. Humans, however, acted unpredictably. They were clever, fast, and united. Their technology was primitive compared to the aliens, yet they used it with intelligence and bravery that the aliens could not anticipate. In orbit, Zather struggled to maintain control. His fleet was scattered, systems failing, and confidence shaken. He realized that humans were not a simple species. They had something the aliens could not calculate: determination, creativity, and the will to survive against impossible odds. Earth hidden facilities prepared the next phase. Scientists linked AI targeting systems with human pilots, ensuring every attack was precise. Every mission was carefully planned, timed to exploit alien weaknesses discovered in previous strikes. Humanity's secret weapon had grown stronger with each battle. Marcus trained relentlessly. Each mission demanded perfection. He remembered cities destroyed, families lost, and friends killed. The human spirit burned brighter than ever. "We fight for more than survival," he thought. "We fight to show the universe that humans are not weak." The aliens, meanwhile, began to fear Earth. Their arrogance, born from centuries of unchallenged conquest, was crumbling. They realized that humans were not just survivors, they were a force. Commander Zather knew that underestimating humans had been a grave mistake. In secret command centers, world leaders and military generals coordinated new strikes. Each country contributed resources, technology, and knowledge. Humanity acted as one, united by a single goal: survival. The alien fleet, once confident and powerful, was now on edge, reacting to human attacks rather than executing its own plan. Marcus and his squadron launched another strike. They moved through the dark sky with precision, dodging alien weapons and targeting weak points in the fleet. Orbital disruptors sent pulses that disrupted the alien neural network. Ships collided, shields failed, and alarms screamed across the fleet. The aliens struggled to regroup. Arguments broke out among commanders. Panic spread. Zather realized that humans had not only fought back, they had learned from the first attack, adapted, and now controlled the battle. On Earth, civilians watched in disbelief. Hidden broadcasts showed humans disabling alien ships, striking back, and surviving against overwhelming odds. Hope spread across the planet. Humanity had shown the galaxy that they were clever, brave, and not to be underestimated. Dr. Vargas studied captured alien signals. "We can do more," she said. "We can disrupt their fleet further, cause confusion, and weaken their forces for a major strike. The Empire will not expect it." Marcus prepared for another mission. The human squadron knew the risks, but their resolve was unshakable. "We fight because we must," Marcus thought. "We fight because we are human, and we will not fail." Back aboard the alien flagship, Zather's confidence wavered. His fleet was still massive, but human attacks had revealed vulnerabilities. The arrogance of conquest had been replaced with fear. "These humans are dangerous," he admitted. "We cannot ignore them. We must adapt or we will be destroyed." The world held its breath. Humanity's secret weapon had struck first and revealed the true strength of the human spirit. The alien empire, shocked and confused, began to understand that Earth was no ordinary planet. It was a planet of clever, brave, and determined beings who would fight to the very end. The first wave of human strikes had succeeded. The aliens were shaken, their fleet in disarray, and their confidence shattered. Humanity had proven that even against overwhelming odds, cleverness, courage, and unity could turn the tide of war. As night fell over Earth, Marcus looked at the stars. Alien ships still hovered, dark and threatening, but hope had returned. Humanity had struck first, and they had struck hard. The shock of the Empire was complete. The battle for survival had only just begun, but the first chapter belonged to humans. Somewhere deep in hidden bases, scientists and commanders prepared the next phase. Humans had learned, adapted, and fought. The aliens would soon discover that underestimating humans was a fatal mistake. And when humanity struck again, it would not be for defense, it would be for victory. The shock of the Empire had begun. And Earth had the power to change the course of the war. The alien fleet hung over Earth like a shadow of doom. Their massive ships blocked sunlight, creating an eerie twilight over the cities below. Fires burned across continents, but humans were no longer waiting to be destroyed. They had learned, adapted, and now they would strike back with full force. In a hidden command bunker beneath the Andes Mountains, General Akira Tanaka studied a holographic map of the alien fleet. Red markers indicated damaged ships from previous human strikes. Green markers showed human forces ready to launch. The room was filled with tension. Every officer knew the stakes. Earth's survival depended on the next move. Dr. Elena Vargas monitored alien energy patterns, her eyes scanning lines of data. "Their shields are weaker after our last strikes," she said. "The neural network is still unstable. If we coordinate correctly, we can hit multiple ships at once." Marcus Lee tightened his gloves as he climbed into the cockpit of his fighter. His team was ready. Small, agile vessels lined up for launch, engines humming with energy. "This is it," Marcus thought. "We strike first. We strike hard, and we make them regret underestimating humans." The plan was risky. Alien ships were massive and heavily armed. Human fighters were small, fast and precise, but the odds were still against them. Their success would depend on perfect timing, coordination, and exploiting every weakness they had discovered. The first wave launched. Jets tore through the skies, invisible streaks of speed against the dark backdrop of the alien fleet. Marcus led his squadron toward the northern sector, where several large alien vessels were preparing for another strike on Earth. The aliens noticed immediately. Beams of energy fired from their ships, tracking the incoming fighters. Marcus twisted his ship, narrowly avoiding a deadly blast. The sky lit up with streaks of light, explosions, and smoke. Yet the human pilots pressed forward, determined not to falter. Dr. Vargas guided them from the bunker. "Now, fire the disruptors," she shouted. Human ships released energy disruptors, small but deadly devices designed to interfere with alien shields and neural connections. The disruptors hit their targets perfectly, causing sparks and malfunctions across the alien fleet. A massive alien cruiser shuddered violently as shields flickered and systems failed. Humans cheered in hidden bunkers around the world. Cities burned, but hope had returned. Earth had struck back and struck first. On board the alien flagship, Commander Zather stared at the monitors in disbelief. "They have done it again," he growled. "They have disabled another of our vessels." "How can a primitive species cause so much damage?" his officers argued. Some suggested retreat, while others called for full-scale annihilation of Earth. But Zather knew that rash action could lead to disaster. Humans were clever, and their attacks were precise. Panic had begun to spread across the alien fleet. Meanwhile, on Earth, hidden orbital weapons fired concentrated energy beams at the alien ships. The disruptors, combined with precise human maneuvers, caused chaos. Ships collided, shields failed, and alarms rang across the alien fleet. Humanity was no longer defensive, they were in control. In the Pacific, Marcus's squadron faced a massive alien vessel. Its size dwarfed their small ships, and energy beams cut through the water and sky alike. Yet Marcus's training and skill allowed him to weave through the attacks. He released another disruptor, hitting the ship's core systems. Sparks erupted, Engines failed, and the massive vessel tilted dangerously. On Earth, news outlets secretly broadcast the small victories. Humanity had won battles, even if the larger war was far from over. Civilians in safe zones watched screens. In disbelief, the impossible had happened. Humans were fighting back against the greatest alien empire in history. Back in the Andes command bunker, Dr. Vargas analyzed captured alien signals. "Their neural network is fragmented," she said. "We can exploit this. The more we strike, the more confusion spreads across their fleet." Global coordination was now flawless. Hidden bases in Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Americas launched attacks simultaneously. Missiles, energy disruptors, and AI-guided drones struck with precision. Alien ships were caught off guard, systems failing faster than their commanders could react. The alien empire's shock was complete. They had expected easy conquest, but humans had adapted, learned, and now dominated the battlefield. "Commander," Zather realized that conventional tactics would not work. "They are not just survivors," he admitted. "They are a threat. We cannot ignore them." In orbit above London, a small human fleet targeted an alien cruiser preparing to fire on the city. Marcus led the charge. His ship darted past energy beams, small but unstoppable. Disruptors hit the cruiser's power cores. The ship shook violently, sparks flying across its hull. The city below was saved from total destruction. On Earth, people watched in awe. Humanity's courage and ingenuity had turned the tide, at least. For now, hidden bunkers erupted in cheers as news of each successful strike spread. The alien fleet was stunned, their confidence shattered. Commander Zather called an emergency council. Officers argued fiercely. "We must destroy Earth now." One said, "We cannot risk another attack." Zather's glowing eyes narrowed. "Patience. Rushing will destroy more of our fleet. These humans are clever. We must adapt. We must fight smart. Or we will lose everything." Meanwhile, Marcus and his team prepared for another strike. Their success had been hard-earned, and the aliens were now more alert. But humans had learned from each encounter. They moved faster, struck harder, and coordinated better than ever. Every mission increased their knowledge and confidence. In a secret facility under the Arctic, scientists calculated the next phase. They discovered new ways to exploit alien weaknesses, using the disrupted neural network to spread confusion across multiple ships. Humanity's strategy was evolving, becoming more dangerous and more precise with every strike. The alien fleet, once confident, now faced chaos. Smaller ships collided, energy weapons misfired, and some vessels were lost entirely. Panic spread from commanders to crews, and the unity of the Empire began to crumble. Marcus led another daring attack. His fighter darted between massive alien vessels, each move calculated. Energy disruptors hit multiple targets, and AI systems guided orbital weapons with perfect accuracy. Ships exploded, shields failed, and the alien fleet struggled to regroup. On Earth, global leaders watched the results. Countries that had been enemies before now acted as one. Resources, technology, and knowledge flowed freely across borders. Humanity's unity had become the strongest weapon of all. Dr. Vargas monitored the alien signals, her eyes sharp. "We can push them further," she said. "The neural network is failing. If we strike now, we can cripple the fleet." Marcus and his team returned from the mission. Exhausted but victorious, they celebrated briefly. The battle was far from over, but humanity had proven it could fight, adapt, and win. The alien empire had been shocked, and the advantage now lay with Earth. Zather's mind raced. His fleet had suffered losses, and the humans had not even revealed the full power of their secret weapon. Confidence had been replaced with fear. Strategy was now based on reaction rather than initiative. For the first time in centuries, the alien empire faced uncertainty, and it terrified them. Back on Earth, civilians dared to hope. Stories of heroes, hidden weapons, and daring pilots spread quietly. Humanity had struck first and struck hard. The alien empire's arrogance was shattered. The balance of power had shifted, at least temporarily, in favor of Earth. Marcus looked at the sky, filled with enemy ships. He remembered cities destroyed, families lost, and friends who had died. Yet determination burned brighter than ever. We fight because we must, he thought. We fight because we are human. And we strike first always. The next phase of the battle was being planned. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders worked tirelessly to coordinate strikes, exploit weaknesses, and prepare pilots for missions that would decide the fate of the planet. Humanity had learned, adapted, and struck back with unprecedented force. The alien empire was reeling. Ships burned, shields failed, and neural networks faltered. For centuries, they had conquered countless worlds without resistance. Now, humans were not only resisting, they were dominating. As night fell over Earth, cities burned, but hope remained. Humanity had struck back and shown that cleverness, courage, and unity could defeat even the greatest power in the galaxy. Aliens had learned a dangerous lesson. Underestimating humans was a fatal mistake. And Earth, once vulnerable, now had the strength, strategy, and determination to fight and win. The battle for Earth had begun in earnest. Humanity would no longer wait. Humanity would no longer hide. Humanity would strike back and strike hard. The alien fleet hovered above Earth, but confidence had turned to fear. Ships that once moved like a coordinated army now faltered, their movements chaotic. Sparks flew from malfunctioning engines, and shields flickered unpredictably. The humans had struck first, and now the aliens faced a reality they had never encountered before. Defeat was possible. Commander Zather paced the command deck of the flagship. His liquid metal skin shimmered under the lights, his glowing eyes scanning every screen. "We underestimated them," he said, voice echoing through the metallic halls. "We thought they were weak, primitive, yet they strike with intelligence, courage, and precision." His officers argued, panic and frustration rising in their voices. "We cannot allow them to continue." One shouted, "Destroy Earth now, before they can strike again." Zather's gaze hardened. "Rash action will cost us everything. We must adapt, regroup, and strike carefully. These humans are unpredictable. Every attack reveals a weakness in our fleet. We must be smarter than ever." Below in the engine rooms, alien drones scrambled to repair damaged vessels. Sparks flew as systems rebooted. Alien soldiers moved frantically, trying to maintain control. But their unity was cracking. For the first time in centuries, the Empire felt uncertainty. On Earth, humanity's hidden command centers worked with precision. The success of the first strikes had revealed alien vulnerabilities, and global teams were coordinating new attacks. Every nation contributed resources, technology, and intelligence. For once, Earth was united in purpose. Dr. Elena Vargas studied alien energy patterns, her eyes scanning hundreds of lines of code and readings. "Their neural network is fragmented," she said. "We can exploit it further. If we strike strategically, we can cause confusion across the entire fleet." In Nevada, Marcus Lee prepared for another mission. His team was tense but determined. Each fighter ship gleamed under the lights, engines humming. "We fight because we must survive," Marcus thought. "We fight because our families, our homes, our world depend on it, and we will strike first." The mission was daring. A cluster of alien vessels had regrouped near the Atlantic, planning another devastating attack on Europe. Marcus's squadron would penetrate their defenses, deliver energy disruptors, and return before the aliens could react. Timing had to be perfect. Failure meant death. The fighters launched, cutting through the darkened skies. The alien fleet detected them immediately. Energy beams fired, but the small human ships moved unpredictably. weaving through the onslaught with agility that the aliens could not match. Dr. Vargas guided the pilots from the bunker. "Now, deploy the disruptors," she shouted. One by one, devices attached to alien vessels, sending pulses through shields and systems. Sparks flew, engines faltered, and the ship shuddered violently. On board the alien flagship, Zather's eyes widened. "They have done it again," he growled. "A small species causes massive destruction. How is this possible?" Panic spread through the fleet. Smaller ships collided. Shields failed. Alarms screamed. The humans were attacking with precision, exploiting every flaw in the alien systems. Zather realized that time was running out. Earth was not just surviving, it was dominating. Meanwhile, on Earth, hidden orbital weapons fired coordinated beams at damaged alien ships. The strikes were deadly and precise, hitting energy cores and disrupting communications. Humanity's intelligence and adaptability had turned the battle in their favor. In Europe, cities that had been threatened by the alien assault now watched the sky in disbelief. Small human fighter fleets disabled incoming ships, saving millions of lives. Civilians dared to hope. For the first time, humanity had not only survived, they had won battles. Zather called another emergency council. Officers argued violently. "We must retreat," one insisted. "We cannot fight these humans, they are too clever." "No," Zather replied, his voice cold and sharp. "Retreat will only embolden them. We adapt, we fight smart, or we are finished. Humanity is not weak. They are dangerous, and we cannot afford underestimation." Back on Earth, Marcus and his squadron pressed forward. They moved with precision, striking alien ships, dodging energy beams, and returning safely. Each strike revealed more weaknesses. Each mission increased knowledge and confidence. Humans were learning faster than the aliens could adapt. Dr. Vargas monitored captured signals from the alien fleet. "Their neural network is faltering," she said. "We can create more confusion, fragment their coordination even further. The Empire will panic." Global coordination was flawless. Hidden bases in Asia, Africa, South America, and North America launched simultaneous attacks. Missiles, orbital disruptors, and AI-guided drones struck the alien fleet with deadly accuracy. Sparks flew across alien vessels, engines failed, and shields collapsed. The aliens, once arrogant and confident, now faced desperation. Panic spread. Among commanders, arguments erupted over strategy. Some wanted immediate annihilation of Earth. Others warned that reckless attacks would destroy the fleet. Division had begun. Marcus led another daring mission against a massive alien cruiser. The ship's shields flickered under repeated disruptor strikes. Energy beams from the cruiser fired wildly, unable to target the fast-moving human ships. The vessel shuddered, sparks flying, before finally exploding in a blinding flash of light. On Earth, the news spread quietly through hidden broadcasts. Humanity had won another battle. Civilians dared to hope. Soldiers and pilots returned to bunkers, exhausted but triumphant. The alien empire had underestimated human intelligence, courage, and resilience, and it was costing them dearly. Zather's mind raced. The fleet had suffered losses, and human attacks had revealed vulnerabilities in even their most powerful ships. Confidence was gone, replaced by fear. He realized that underestimating humans had been a grave mistake. In hidden command centers across the globe, scientists prepared the next phase. They studied alien technology, discovered patterns, and developed strategies to exploit weaknesses. Humanity's advantage grew with each mission. The alien fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable power, was now fractured. Smaller ships collided, weapons misfired, and confusion spread. Zather knew that the humans' cleverness and determination could no longer be ignored. Marcus and his team prepared for yet another mission. Exhaustion was heavy, but determination burned brighter. "We fight because we must," he thought. We fight because humans will not be conquered. And we strike. First, always. Orbital weapons targeted the remaining alien ships, while human fighters struck from multiple directions. The aliens struggled to respond. Their fleet, once united and confident, was now a scene of chaos. On Earth, civilians dared to hope for victory. Stories of heroes, secret weapons, and daring pilots spread quietly. Humanity had struck first, struck hard, and forced the greatest empire in the galaxy into desperation. Commander Zather paced the flagship once more. His officers trembled under the pressure. He realized that their arrogance had been their downfall. Humans were not weak, not disorganized. They were intelligent, courageous, and united. They had discovered the Empire's weaknesses and exploited them brilliantly. In secret bunkers, Dr. Vargas and the world's top scientists worked to coordinate the next wave of attacks. Every strike, every maneuver, every decision was calculated to maximize confusion and damage to the alien fleet. Humanity's secret weapon had evolved, growing stronger with every mission. Marcus and his squadron readied their fighters. Engines hummed, energy disruptors were armed, and AI guidance systems locked onto alien vessels. They knew the risks, but they also knew the stakes. Humanity's survival depended on their success. The alien fleet had entered a state of desperation. Ships faltered, crews panicked, and Zather struggled to maintain control. They had underestimated humans, and now the consequences were devastating. First human strikes had succeeded. The aliens were in chaos. Humanity had revealed its strength, intelligence, and courage. For the first time, the galaxy saw that humans were not just survivors, they were warriors. Marcus looked at the sky, filled with enemy ships. His heart pounded, but determination burned brighter than ever. We fight because we must, he thought. We fight because we are human. And we will never surrender. The alien empire, once proud and invincible, now faced an enemy that could not be underestimated. Humanity had struck first, revealed their secret weapon, and forced the greatest empire in the galaxy into desperation. Earth was no longer waiting to be destroyed. Humanity had adapted, learned, and struck back. And now the aliens would pay. For underestimating the human spirit. The battle was far from over. But one thing was certain. Humans had awakened. And their determination was unstoppable. The countdown for the next strike had begun, and the aliens knew that they were running out of time. The alien fleet hung over Earth like a dark storm. Massive ships blocking the sunlight, their shadows stretching across cities and oceans. But the fear that had settled across the alien commanders was more dangerous than any human weapon. They had underestimated humanity. They had assumed Earth would fall easily. And now, after months of secret strikes, counterattacks, and clever maneuvers, humans were ready to deliver the decisive blow. In the hidden command center under the Andes Mountains, General Akira Tanaka studied a holographic map of the alien fleet. Each blinking red mark represented a damaged or malfunctioning ship. Green dots represented human forces ready to launch. The tension in the room was immense. Every officer, soldier, and scientist knew that this was the moment that would determine Earth's survival. Dr. Elena Vargas studied alien energy readings, her eyes scanning hundreds of lines of data. Their neural network is unstable, she said. If we strike simultaneously at multiple points, we can cripple the entire fleet. Timing will be everything. Marcus Lee, standing beside her, tightened his gloves. His fighter ship waited in the launch bay, engines humming with quiet power. This is it, he said, voice steady but his heart racing. We strike first, we strike hard, and we make them regret underestimating humans. The plan was simple, yet daring. Human fleets, hidden orbital weapons, AI-guided drones, and small agile fighter ships would attack multiple alien sectors at once. Each strike was designed to exploit weaknesses discovered over months of reconnaissance. The aliens were powerful, But they had a flaw humans could exploit: overconfidence and reliance on a centralized neural network. The first wave launched. Jets tore through the skies, streaks of speed against the dark backdrop of alien ships. Marcus led his squadron toward the northern cluster, where several large alien vessels were preparing for another devastating strike on Europe. The aliens detected them immediately. Energy beams fired from the massive vessels, cutting through the atmosphere, but the human pilots moved unpredictably. They twisted, flipped, and darted between beams with agility that left the alien gunners struggling to aim. "Now! Deploy the disruptors!" Dr. Vargas shouted. One by one, devices attached to alien vessels, sending pulses that interfered with their shields and neural networks. Sparks flew, engines faltered, and massive ships shuddered violently. The sky above Europe lit up with explosions. On board the alien flagship, Commander Zather's glowing eyes widened in shock. "They are doing it again," he growled. "A primitive species is destroying our fleet in seconds." Panic spread. Ships collided, shields failed. Alarms screamed through every deck. The humans had not just attacked, they had synchronized their strikes perfectly, using every advantage to maximize chaos. In secret orbital stations, AI-guided drones targeted weakened alien vessels. Concentrated energy beams struck cores, engines, and weapon systems. The alien fleet, once confident, now struggled to coordinate. Commander Zather realized that they were facing an enemy unlike any other, humans who were clever, adaptive, and united. Back on Earth, global command centers coordinated attacks in real time. Missiles, drones, and fighter jets struck from multiple directions simultaneously. Humanity was no longer defensive, they were in control. Marcus's squadron penetrated the core of the alien fleet. Massive vessels loomed above, but the humans were agile and relentless. Energy disruptors struck the ship's neural connections. The massive flagship shook violently, systems failing, and alarms blared in a panic. Sparks flew, and fires erupted across the hull. On Earth, civilians watched secretly as news of successful strikes spread. Cities once threatened by destruction were now saved by human courage and ingenuity. Humanity had learned, adapted, and was now delivering the decisive blow. Commander Zather called another emergency council aboard the flagship. Officers argued fiercely. "Destroy Earth now," one shouted. "We cannot risk another coordinated strike." Zather's glowing eyes narrowed. "Rash action will destroy our fleet," he replied. "We adapt or we perish. These humans are not just survivors, they are clever, determined, and united. We cannot underestimate them again." Meanwhile, in hidden bases around the globe, Dr. Vargas and her team monitored alien neural signals. "Their network is fractured," she said. "We can amplify this. Hit the central command cores simultaneously, and their entire fleet will collapse." Marcus prepared for a final decisive strike. His fighter ship hummed with energy, disruptors armed and ready. His squadron flew in formation, agile and precise. Every pilot knew the stakes. Failure meant death. Success meant survival for all. Of humanity. The human strike hit multiple points at once. Disruptors disabled shield generators. Orbital weapons targeted engine cores. Fighter ships darted between massive alien vessels, striking with precision. The aliens struggled to respond. Their fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable power, now faltered. Commander Zather's eyes glowed brighter with panic. Ships collapsed. Energy beams misfired, and collisions erupted across the fleet. They had relied on unity and centralized control, but humans had disrupted it all. Chaos reigned. Marcus's squadron hit the alien flagship directly. The massive vessel shuddered under the coordinated attacks. Sparks flew from hull breaches, alarms screamed, and fires raged through the decks. Humans had achieved what seemed impossible. They had broken the backbone of the alien fleet. On Earth, Hidden command centers erupted in controlled celebration. Humanity had struck first, struck hard, and struck decisively. Civilians dared to hope for the first time in generations. Humanity's ingenuity, courage, and unity had turned the tide of war. In the alien flagship, Zather realized the truth. Humans were no ordinary species. They were clever, adaptive, and brave. Their attacks were precise, their tactics unpredictable. The Empire had underestimated them, and it had cost them dearly. Back on Earth, Marcus and his squadron returned to the launch bay. Exhausted, bruised, and covered in sweat, they celebrated briefly. Their victory had been hard-earned, but the war was not over. They knew that aliens still remained in orbit, still dangerous, but humanity had proven its strength. Dr. Vargas analyzed the final signals. "The neural network is destroyed," she said. "Their fleet is fractured. We can now finish this. The aliens will not recover quickly." Global leaders prepared the final strike. Hidden bases launched concentrated attacks. AI-controlled drones moved with precision, and human fighter squadrons targeted the remaining alien ships. Sparks flew across alien vessels, shields failed, and massive explosions lit up the sky. The alien fleet, once invincible, was now in full retreat. Ships fled, but many had already been destroyed. Commander Zather realized that the humans had achieved what few civilizations had. They had survived, fought back, and dominated the battlefield. On Earth, humanity erupted in quiet celebration. Cities burned, but hope remained. The planet had survived the greatest threat in its history. Humans had learned, adapted, and struck first, and now the alien empire would think twice before ever underestimating them again. Marcus looked at the stars, where remnants of the alien fleet fled into space. His heart pounded, but determination burned brighter than ever. "We fight because we must," he thought. "We fight because we are human. And we strike first always." Dr. Vargas smiled beside him. "The world is safe, for now," she said. "But we have shown the universe that humans are clever, brave, and unstoppable." Commander Zather's ships retreated into the void. The Empire had been shocked, fractured, and humbled. They had underestimated the human spirit, and it had cost them dearly. Humanity had not only survived, they had triumphed. Cleverness, unity, and courage had won the day. Earth was no longer vulnerable. It was a planet of warriors, of strategists, of clever and fearless humans who could face the greatest power in the galaxy and emerge victorious. As night fell over the planet, humans celebrated in hidden ways. The war was over, for now. Humanity had struck first, struck hard, and secured its place in the galaxy. The aliens would remember this lesson for centuries. Never underestimate humans. The battle for Earth had ended. Humanity had won. And from that day forward, the universe would know the truth. Humans were clever, brave, and unstoppable. Earth had struck first, and it had struck decisively.